Speak show here at WonderCon Anaheim. We're back in SoCal, and I'm talking to James Tucker here, who is part of the whole creation of Teen Titans, the Judas contract. James, welcome. And how's your WonderCon going, by the way?
I've been working nonstop since I got here a couple hours ago, so it's great, I guess. Yeah. It's good.
I was like, did you have coffee at all?
No, not yet, but I'm good. I'm good.
I had to start out with a Red Bull this morning to keep myself going. Okay, yeah. But can you tell us a little bit of the whole creative process behind the Teen Titans without spoiling anything, or what the best part about it was?
Well, this version of Teen Titans is in our movie continuity, which we've been setting up for the past few years. It was kind of a natural progression to get to here from there. It's a famous story from 30 years ago. Originally, it was going to be a standalone story way back in 2006, but for whatever reason, they didn't do it back then. So we thought it was time to do it now, since we have an established continuity. The nature of the story was that it was a serialized story. So I thought it would work best in our continuity-driven titles, as opposed to a standalone title where you'd have to spend a lot of time setting the characters up and doing a lot of groundwork just to tell the story. So we kind of plopped them in right into our continuity. And we had a pre-existing, we had an earlier movie, Justice League versus Teen Titans, which introduced the Teen Titans to our universe. And so now this movie is a standalone Teen Titans movie, and it makes it easier for us to tell this story, because it's a complicated story. It has a lot of character involvement and stuff. So if we hadn't had Justice League Teen Titans, it would have been hard to tell this story. So I'm glad we're finally here after 10 plus years of waiting. So.
That's awesome. There's a lot of stuff going around with DC, especially, we're going to get the whole preview tonight. We're getting Wonder Woman. And, going back to Teen Titans, too, did you watch the Teen Titans that was on the Cartoon Network?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Did that influence you at all when creating this movie?
Well, Glenn and I worked on lots of DC animated stuff together. And what he did with Teen Titans, people forget up until that point, all the shows that were any good were Bruce Timm was attached to them. And Glenn and myself to a lesser degree, because I was just a board artist back then. But anyway, Glenn really nailed Teen Titans. It was his own version of it, but that's the version anyone who didn't read the comics would know. So we used we used elements from the comic, but we definitely used things from the TV show, just character traits, things. He did a great job of simplifying the characters to their essence, and we tried to take that and elaborate on it, since our movie isn't as comedically driven as that show was. But yeah, he did a lot of groundwork for us that for me, that is part of the lore of Teen Titans now. It's not just the comics, it's that TV show.
Exactly. I think that's definitely what inspired me as a kid. Just anything superhero. Cartoon Network was my all-time go-to, so that's why I'm excited. Just, if you look at the poster, all the characters are very, stuck on there, too. Yeah. And if you could pick any DC superhero just to be as real life, what would you pick? Or who would you pick?
Oh God, that's hard to pick. In real life, you mean? Live action?
Yes, if you could have any superpower or be any superhero.
I like the Spectre.
Oh, yeah.
A very obscure character, but and I'm a huge DC fan, so it's not easy to pick. But, so I like the Spectre. I'll go with him for today.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, James, for being on the Geek Speak show.